Welcome back to the Accounting Guys YouTube channel. My name is Blake, and today we'll be talking about scheduled versus non-scheduled accounts and how the differences will affect how you review those accounts and what the differences exactly are. Brian will be our trainer today. He's one of the partners here at the Accounting Guys. Hope you enjoy.
So the easiest way to see what accounts are scheduled and non-scheduled, we're going to go inside of the chart of accounts, so general ledger chart of accounts, and then there's a column here for schedule. And you'll notice in this column you'll have none, and you'll have receivables, warranty, and the different schedules listed here. A scheduled account is basically an account that is tied to something else, an identifier or a control. For example, on the receivables, the identifier is a customer. So any balance you'd have inside of that account is also going to be tied to a report that lists it by customer. In warranty claims, on that schedule, it's going to be tied to warranty claims, major units to units, and so on. And so one thing with schedules is this in Lightspeed, you're not allowed to do journal entries to them, or you shouldn't have to make journal entries to them. The only time you would be to correct an error. Otherwise, everything that goes to those schedules is managed by one of these menu options up here at the top. If you ever have a time where you're like, that balance is wrong, no, I do not have this much money sitting in this GL account, I do not have this $18,000 of Can-Am units, you would need to look inside the scheduled reports in the detail to know what specific items they are and fix them appropriately in order to get the correct balance. If it's not a schedule, then you would need to look inside of that account. And the way you do that is by opening up the account, by double clicking on it, going to the history, and then you can filter by date. Here we're going to use this year-to-date box so we can see some of the history inside of that account. So again, the non-scheduled accounts, they don't typically have another report that tells you what makes up that balance. Now there are some accounts in Lightspeed where they're non-scheduled accounts, but there are still some supporting documents or some supporting reports that can help you identify what makes up that balance. And that's something that we can do in another video or on a call with you to go through those. But the main idea here that I wanted to bring is a scheduled account is tied to something else. And so if I'm looking at the number and thinking, this number is not right, I am not going to double click on it and go to the history to review it. Instead, I'm going to run a report that will show me what makes up that number. And so in order to see this one for this $18,000, you have schedule reports in Lightspeed up under General Ledger, go down to Reports, and go down to GL Schedules. We'll click on Major Units, as that's the one we were looking at. The account number we were looking at was 23,110, and I can hit Report. So this is going to show me I have this unit with this invoice, and there's my dollar amount. I have another unit with that invoice, and there's my separate dollar amount. So those two units make up my 18,000. And this is just an example of one of the reports. This is specific to the GL schedules. We can also look at reports through our custom reports that will have those identifiers with stock numbers or, again, customers, vendors, if it's for the payables, and those different schedule types. So hopefully this helps you identify what is a scheduled account versus a non-scheduled account. A big reminder here, if you need to fix the number because the balance is incorrect, on a non-scheduled account, you can do a journal entry to adjust it. You can do a memo, you can do an invoice to adjust that balance. But if it's a scheduled account, you should not be making any of those adjustments. You should be doing it inside of the menu options that are in these sections in the first menus. If it's the receivable or payables, inside of this receivable or payables menu, but not a journal entry. One thing in the journal entry field, if you do try to make a journal entry to a scheduled account, it will not show up. It's not an account you can make an entry to. There is a way that you can correct that balance, but that's something that will be shown in another video. And again, it's not something you should have to do.
That brings us to the end of this video. If you have any trainings or videos you'd like to see in the future, those are our favorite videos to make. So go ahead and leave those down below in the comments. If you'd like to get in touch with us or schedule a one-on-one training with a dealership specialist, our contact information is in the description. Thanks for watching.